والصلاة والسلام على رسوله الكريم أما بعد. My dear respected brothers, elders, listeners, once again you've joined us for the Q&A. We'll start with this week's questions. Question number 1. Can we pray Asr and Maghrib together? I'm assuming the brothers asking about combining the prayers Asr and Maghrib together. Now, for every salah there's a fixed and appointed time, as Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has mentioned in the Quran. In Surah Nisa, chapter number 5, إِنَّ الصَّلَاةَ كَانَتْ عَلَى الْمُؤْمِنِينَ كِتَابًا مَوْقُوتًا. There's a fixed time for prayer, which means that we pray in that time. When it's time for Asr, we should pray Asr. When it's time for Maghrib, we should pray Maghrib. If you are traveling, then there's some differences within the fuqaha, like Imam Shafi rahimahullah says that you can combine. And Imam Abu Hanifa rahimahullah says combining means Jama' Suri, which you would pray at the end time of Dhuhr or end time, and then the start time of Asr prayer. But reading both of them together, this is not something which is right, because then you would be reading one prayer when it's outside the time. If you are delayed with your Asr of that day that you're reading and the time's running short, then you need to still pray the Asr. So we have to be mindful of the times of prayer. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has mentioned in the Quran in Surah Al-Baqarah, para number 2, حَافِظُوا عَلَى الصَّلَوَاتِ وَالصَّلَاةِ الْوُسْطَى. Safeguard the prayers, especially the middle prayer. And some of the Mufassirin refer this was Asr prayer, because this is a time where people are engaged and busy in the marketplaces, and easily this prayer is missed. And Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam has mentioned, you'll find some people that Asr prayer is being delayed, and they'll read it in the last, when the sun's going down. Tilka salatul munafiq. This is like the prayer of a hypocrite, delaying the Asr and then just going down, up, down, turn around and finish namaz. So we have to be mindful. Allah is telling us in the Quran to protect the prayer. When we protect something, there's times for it, and we have to keep our routine and timetable according to the namaz times. But we kept our worldly things. So after namaz I will do this. After this namaz I will do this. Those that are working, they have concession. So generally this is how we set things. And then our prayer is protected. If we have not made no plans, sometimes brothers go out from home, they don't have wudu. Now what happens, they may be traveling, they may be, some may do taxi, and then they've got no wudu, and they've got no facility there, and time of namaz is going. We have to plan. If we are traveling, we have to plan. If we are local, and especially like nowadays where Asr, Maghrib and Dhuhr is so close. This one Maulana came from India, and he had mentioned, when he came and seen the prayers, he's done many talks in our masjid, when he came and seen the time of Dhuhr, Asr, Maghrib, and he mentioned that in the bayan, when I put my qameez on, it was Dhuhr time, and I put my topi on, it was Asr time, and then I put my shalwar, it was Maghrib time. This is how close the times closely. So we have to be careful preparing ourselves, and it's all preparation in advance. Question number 2, can waterproof socks be used for masa? There are certain socks which can be used for masa, but it comes with conditions. They have to be thick, not like the nylon socks that we wear. Now you may be saying, oh, I've heard such and such person on YouTube, and they're saying that you can do it on nylon socks. So you will have some that say you can. We're talking about the contemporary, we're talking about the classical scholars, the fuqahas like Abu Hanifa, Shafi, Malik and Imam Ahmad, may Allah have mercy on all of them. The socks must be thick, not like the nylon socks that water cannot seep through. So basically, in the time of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, they would do masa on leather socks. So if these socks which as like leather socks, meaning that you could walk in them for a certain distance, they can stand up on their own, and then water does not seep through and so on, these 4 conditions, then yes, you can do masa on them. For the muqim, a local, it'd be 1 day, 1 night. And for a musafir, a traveler, it'd be 3 days and 3 nights. The last question, question number 3. Can we keep New Year resolutions? So, if you have thought about something that on January the 1st, something that you need to make change in your life, and you think that I need to make this change and it's New Year as well, that's fine. So in simple, Islam teaches us, when we know we are doing something and we need to make change, then we don't wait for New Year. If I think about something in March, I'm doing something wrong, and then I think, okay, I'll wait till next January and make this New Year resolution that I'll stop this. Islam teaches us that we stop it then. The famous saying in Urdu, Aaj ka kaam kal par mat dalo. You've noticed a shortcoming, you've noticed a bad habit that we are doing, then what does Islam teach? Shaitan will give you this false hope that you've got a long time. Just like it does for Fajr prayer. You wake up and you're struggling and he's tapping you on the back. You know, like how you tap a child, a baby? Go to sleep, go to sleep. Num, num. This is what he says. Go to sleep, the night's long. There's plenty of time. So Shaitan will give us false hope of long life. Oh, you're still young, it's okay. You can lie and cheat. When you get a bit older and you go do your Hajj, and then we'll decide. Some people think, okay, there's certain sins will come in, will change after Hajj. We have to make change now. If it's come and we know, ulama's mentioned, this is the last point I'll mention, ulama's mentioned, when a good thought comes into your mind, it's like a guest. When you think, I should do this good deed, do not wait for next year. If you think I need to leave this sin, then stop it then, at that time. Yes, there are certain sins that you think I cannot stop it the next day. It's not possible, which is going to take over time. Then that is fine. You decide to reduce and so on. Now, a good deed is like a thought that comes into your mind, is like a guest. If the guest comes and you shut the door on them and say, come back after 6 months, then that guest will not come again. So that good thought that's coming, we need to do it there and then. At that time, Shaitan will give us long hopes that there is plenty of time. So we should not pay attention. Do it there and at that time, immediately. If it's a sin that you can't stop straight away, then give yourself some time to try and get into stages where you can stop. If it's a sin you can't stop straight away, then there at that time, stop the sin. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give us all the ability to understand and to spread unto others. Ameen. Subhana rabbika rabbil izzati amma yasifun. Wa salamun ala al-mursaleen. Walhamdulillahi rabbil alameen.